The order arrived without warning. It did not come with debate, or hesitation, or apology. It came as a single sentence transmitted across every command channel in the war zone. All human infants are to be located and destroyed. No exceptions. The galactic war had already burned half a sector to ash. Fleets drifted as wreckage. Stars glowed through clouds of debris. Entire species had chosen sides, then vanished from history when they chose wrong. Humans were losing. Not because they were weak, but because the Council feared what came after humans adapted. The Dragon Commander Kael'thar received the order while circling a ruined human colony. His wings cut through smoke and fire as ground forces finished the purge below. Buildings were collapsed. Power grids were silent. Life signs were almost gone. Almost. Kael'thar was ancient by most standards. He had seen civilizations rise, claim the stars, then collapse under their own pride. He had enforced council law for centuries. He did not enjoy killing. He believed order prevented worse horrors. That belief began to crack when the sensors flagged something small. A single heat signature. Too small for a soldier. Too weak for a threat. Kael'thar descended through shattered steel and broken concrete, folding his wings as he landed inside what had once been a shelter. The air smelled of dust, blood, and fear. His claws sank into the floor as his eyes adjusted. The sound reached him then. Not crying. Breathing. Soft. Uneven. Alive. Behind a collapsed wall, wrapped in torn fabric, lay a human infant. Barely days old. Eyes open. Silent. Watching him. Kael'thar froze. He had killed thousands in the war. Warriors. Commanders. Beasts bred only for destruction. He had never hesitated. But this was not a soldier. This was potential. His internal systems replayed the order. Destroy. No exceptions. The Council's reasoning echoed in his mind. Humans adapted too quickly. They bonded too deeply. They learned from loss instead of breaking. If even a few survived, the next war would be worse. Kael'thar looked at the infant again. The child did not scream. It reached out. A tiny hand closed around the edge of Kael'thar's armored claw. Weak grip. Warm. Real. Something inside the dragon shifted. He imagined the future the Council feared. A galaxy shaped by humans who remembered this war. Humans who learned hatred before language. Humans who grew up hunted. Kael'thar realized the Council was right about one thing. This child mattered. He sealed the shelter and falsified the scan results. Then he did something no dragon commander had done in recorded history. He disobeyed. Kael'thar concealed the infant beneath his armored chest plating and launched into the sky as the colony burned below. He transmitted confirmation of compliance to the fleet. The purge was complete. No survivors. The lie entered the archives and became truth. Hours later, Kael'thar vanished from command routes. He did not return to the fleet. He did not answer summons. He burned his transponder and flew into forbidden space, regions marked unstable, uninhabitable, forgotten. The dragon landed in a dead system where no fleets patrolled and no laws reached. An asteroid hollowed by ancient impact became his refuge. There, surrounded by silence and stone, Kael'thar faced a problem no battle had prepared him for. The human infant needed care. It needed warmth, food, protection. Kael'thar was fire and steel. He learned quickly. He adapted. He melted metals into shelter. He hunted creatures that roamed the dark and refined their nutrients into something the child could survive on. He wrapped his wings around the infant during cold cycles. The child cried then. Loud. Angry. Alive. Kael'thar named him Ash, for the world he came from and the fire that had failed to consume him. As days passed, Kael'thar noticed something unsettling. Ash did not weaken. He grew stronger. He adapted to gravity shifts. His breathing stabilized in thin air. His eyes tracked motion with unsettling focus. When frightened, he did not freeze. He stared back. Kael'thar understood then why the Council had panicked. Humans did not need claws or scales or fire. They learned. The Dragon Commander watched the stars from the mouth of the hollow asteroid, the human child asleep against his chest. Kael'thar knew the cost of his choice. If discovered, he would be hunted. Executed. Erased. But for the first time in centuries, Kael'thar felt something unfamiliar. Hope. The galaxy believed all human infants were dead. One dragon knew the truth. The war had failed to kill humanity. And that failure had just begun. Kael'thar learned fear in silence. Not the sharp fear of battle, where enemies were known and danger was loud. This fear was slow and constant. Every signal spike made his wings tense. Every distant engine echo made him prepare to run. He stayed hidden. The dead system became their world. The asteroid drifted through weak starlight, its hollow core warmed by Kael'thar's controlled fire. He carved chambers with careful heat, smoothing stone so the human child would not be cut. He sealed cracks. He learned patience. Ash grew. Not quickly. Not strangely. Just steadily. Kael'thar measured time by breaths at first. Then by heartbeats. Then by the way Ash's eyes followed him across the chamber, tracking movement with growing focus. The child learned Kael'thar's shape before his own hands. The dragon noticed something troubling. Ash did not fear him. When Kael'thar shifted his massive body, when scales scraped stone or fire flickered between his teeth, the child did not cry. He stared. Curious. Alert. As if studying a puzzle. Kael'thar had raised hatchlings of his own kind long ago. Dragon young were fierce, loud, and demanded dominance even as infants. Ash did not demand. He adapted. Food was a problem. Human biology was fragile compared to dragons. Kael'thar experimented carefully, breaking down nutrients, filtering toxins, adjusting heat and density until Ash's small body accepted it. Each failure frightened Kael'thar more than any enemy fleet. But Ash survived. His cries grew stronger. His movements more controlled. When the asteroid shifted gravity during a stellar tide, Ash adjusted within days, while other species would have required machines. Kael'thar began to teach without meaning to. Not language. Not yet. But behavior. He showed Ash silence when danger passed nearby. He showed patience while waiting for prey creatures to surface. He showed restraint, never using fire unless necessary. Ash watched everything. As the years passed, Kael'thar took greater risks. He ventured farther into the system to gather materials. He returned with metal fragments, crystal deposits, and old wreckage left from wars forgotten even by the Council. Ash learned to crawl on uneven stone. Then to walk. Then to climb. He fell often. He learned faster. Pain did not stop him. It informed him. Kael'thar noticed how Ash reacted to threat. When a cave predator breached the outer tunnel, Ash did not scream. He hid where Kael'thar had once placed him during drills. When the beast was slain, Ash emerged on his own. The dragon felt a chill deeper than vacuum. This was not instinct. This was learning. Kael'thar began to speak. He used simple sounds at first. Names for objects. Warnings. Stillness. Ash repeated them badly, then better. He asked questions with his eyes long before his mouth could shape them. One cycle, Kael'thar discovered Ash watching old war footage projected across the stone wall. It was not meant for the child. The dragon shut it down instantly. Too late. Ash had seen burning cities. Ships falling. Humans running. He did not cry. He asked one question. Why? Kael'thar had no answer that felt true. He told Ash the galaxy feared humans. That fear made others cruel. That laws were written by those afraid to lose control. Ash listened. Then he asked another question. Did I do something wrong? The dragon turned away so the child would not see his eyes. No, Kael'thar said. You were born. That night, Kael'thar realized the truth he had avoided. He was not hiding a child. He was raising a survivor. Ash grew into a quiet boy. Strong for his size. Alert even in rest. He learned dragon lore, dragon history, dragon mistakes. Kael'thar did not teach him hatred. He taught him caution. But the galaxy did not forget its lies. Long-range probes eventually brushed the edge of the system. Automated. Curious. Old council tech, still sweeping forbidden space for errors in the purge. Kael'thar destroyed them silently. Ash noticed. Why hide? He asked. Because the galaxy is not ready for you, Kael'thar replied. Ash thought about that. Will it ever be? Kael'thar did not answer. Years later, when Ash stood at the edge of the asteroid and stared into open space without fear, Kael'thar understood the weight of his choice. The council feared humans raised in war. They should have feared humans raised by dragons. Because Ash did not grow with rage. He grew with understanding. And one day, the galaxy would meet him. Not as a victim. But as a decision it could not undo. Ash learned the limits of his body by breaking them. The first time he bled badly, Kael'thar thought he had failed. Ash was climbing the inner wall of the asteroid, higher than Kael'thar had ever allowed. His grip slipped. He fell hard, striking stone before Kael'thar could reach him. The sound was wrong. Too sharp. Ash did not cry. He gasped. He shook. He looked at the blood on his hands with surprise, not fear. Kael'thar carried him gently, wings tight around the small human form, fire control to keep Ash warm while his body healed. Dragon medicine was not made for humans. Kael'thar adapted it. Slowly. Carefully. Ash survived. He always did. The dragon began to understand something unsettling. Ash healed slower than dragons, but he learned faster than any creature Kael'thar had known. Each injury became a lesson. Each mistake was remembered. Ash stopped falling. He learned balance by watching Kael'thar walk narrow ledges meant for wings and claws. He learned timing by counting breaths during dangerous gravity shifts. He learned patience because impatience got him hurt. Kael'thar trained him without calling it training. Silence drills became games. Ash learned how to move without sound across stone. Observation became habit. Ash could sit for hours, watching small movements, noticing patterns even Kael'thar missed. When predators entered the tunnels, Ash watched how Kael'thar fought. The dragon never fought the same way twice. Ash noticed. Years passed. Ash grew lean, hard, and quiet. His muscles were not large, but they were efficient. He could run long distances without stopping. He could climb and hang and hold himself still longer than most species could endure. He learned dragon history next. Not the proud stories. The failures. Kael'thar told him about wars dragons had started because they believed themselves superior. About laws enforced without understanding. About times dragons mistook fear for wisdom. Ash listened closely. Did dragons think they were right? Ash asked once. Yes, Kael'thar replied. Were they? Kael'thar paused. No. Ash nodded, as if filing the answer away. The first time Ash saw his reflection clearly, everything changed. A polished metal panel from an old wreck showed him a thin human face, scarred in small places, eyes sharp and alert. He compared it to Kael'thar's massive reflection beside him. I don't look like you, Ash said. No, Kael'thar answered. Am I weak? Kael'thar lowered his head until one great eye met Ash's gaze. You are fragile, he said. That is not the same thing. Ash thought about that for a long time. Later, when Ash faced a tunnel beast alone for the first time, Kael'thar watched from the shadows. The creature was larger than Ash. Stronger. Faster. Ash did not rush. He waited. He used light, sound, and positioning. He led the beast where it could not turn easily. When he struck, it was precise and final. Kael'thar felt something close to fear. Not of Ash. Of what Ash was becoming. Ash did not enjoy violence. He did not hate the creature. He did not boast afterward. He simply cleaned his blade and asked what he had done wrong. Kael'thar realized then the truth the council had feared but misunderstood. Humans did not become dangerous because they loved war. They became dangerous because they learned from it. Ash asked about the galaxy more often now. About other species. About laws. About humans. Kael'thar told him the truth. That humans were hunted. That infants like him were ordered destroyed. That he was considered a mistake. Ash was quiet for a long time. Then he asked one question. Did you save me because I was human? Kael'thar answered honestly. No. I saved you because you were alive. Ash accepted that. From that day on, he trained harder. Not out of anger. Out of purpose. Kael'thar watched the human who did not breathe fire or fly through space, but who could survive where others failed. A human shaped by monsters, but not made into one. And the dragon understood, too late, that the galaxy had made a terrible mistake. They had not erased humanity. They had forged it. The galaxy noticed the lie slowly. At first, it was only noise, unexplained signal losses at the edge of forbidden space. Long-range probes went dark without distress calls. Navigation buoys vanished. Automated sweeps returned incomplete data, their logs corrupted in ways that did not match radiation or gravity damage. The council dismissed it. Old space was unstable. Forbidden regions existed for a reason. But then a patrol cruiser failed to return. That changed everything. The council reopened the purge archives. Old orders. Old confirmations. Too clean. Too final. Entire human nursery zones marked cleared by a single dragon commander. Kael'thar. A name that should have been dead. A silence that should not have lasted this long. Kill teams were assembled without ceremony. Not diplomats. Not investigators. Erasers. Creatures bred and trained to end problems before they grew teeth. Their orders were simple. Confirm survival. Eliminate contamination. Leave no witnesses. The fleet entered the dead system without warning. Kael'thar felt them before senses did. Space bent differently when warships arrived with intent. He woke Ash instantly. "Go to the deep tunnels," Kael'thar said. "The ones I never let you enter." Ash did not argue. He was already moving. The first strike hit the asteroid's outer shell, cracking stone and metal. Kael'thar roared, not in rage, but in warning. His wings filled the chamber as he launched into space, fire coiling around him like a living storm. The kill teams expected a relic. They found a commander. Kael'thar did not fight to win. He fought to delay. He tore through fighters, melted hulls, shattered formations. But numbers mattered. Precision mattered. Weapons designed to kill dragons burned through his scales. Ash felt each impact through the stone. He did not panic. He listened. Kael'thar's lessons echoed in his mind. Watch patterns. Count time. Move only when it matters. The kill teams breached the tunnels. Ash did not hide. He moved. The first eraser died without understanding how. The second never saw him. Ash used darkness, narrow passages, and angles Kael'thar's massive body could never fit through. He was smaller. Faster. Silent. He did not chase. He avoided. He did not kill unless forced. But when forced, he was exact. Above them, Kael'thar's fire dimmed. Ash felt it like a cold spreading through his chest. He reached the surface chamber just as Kael'thar fell from the sky, crashing into stone hard enough to shake the asteroid. The dragon's wings were torn. His breathing was shallow. Smoke rose from wounds that would not close. Ash ran to him. Kael'thar's eye focused slowly. "You must go," the dragon said. "I won't," Ash replied. Kael'thar's claw closed weakly around him. "You will," he said. "Because I chose you to live." More ships descended. The erasers regrouped. Kael'thar forced himself upright, placing his body between Ash and the entrance. Fire flickered, weak, but still dangerous. "I will hold them," Kael'thar said. "You will carry what I taught you." Ash shook his head once. "No," he said quietly. "You taught me to choose." Kael'thar smiled, a dragon's smile, ancient and proud. "Then choose to survive." The dragon launched one last time, fire consuming what remained of his strength. The explosion lit the system like a dying star. Ash ran. He escaped through routes only he could use, into a small craft Kael'thar had prepared long ago but never spoken of. As the engines ignited, Ash watched the asteroid collapse behind him, burning, breaking, erasing the last evidence of the dragon who had refused the order. The council marked the mission a success. Target eliminated. Contamination contained. They were wrong. Ash disappeared into the wider galaxy, alone, scarred, and carrying lessons learned from monsters and mercy learned from one. The war would end someday. But something else had begun. Not a rebellion. Not revenge. A consequence. Because the galaxy had hunted a child. And created a human who would never forget how laws were written, or how easily they were broken.